Ripa has never been one to shy away from honesty, even when that honesty comes with a side of playful exasperation. So when she and Victoria Beckham recently sat down for a chat on Live with Kelly and Mark, the talk show host wasted no time drawing an unexpectedly hilarious parallel between their famously devoted and occasionally maddening husbands, Mark Consuelos and David Beckham. "Victoria," Kelly began, her signature mix of curiosity and mischief already lighting up her expression, "I think our husbands might actually be the same person. It's horrifying." The audience erupted into laughter, and even Victoria, whose dry wit rivals her designer heels in sharpness, couldn't help but crack a smile. "Oh no," she said with mock concern, crossing one leg elegantly over the other. "What did Mark do this time?" Kelly's sigh said it all, exaggerated, theatrical, and deeply relatable. The parallels begin. What followed was a delightful deep dive into the lives of two women who have spent decades married to men who are equal parts charming, intense, and utterly unself-conscious about their own perfection. "Mark," Kelly began, gesturing with both hands as if summoning the words out of thin air, "wakes up at 5 a.m. every day. He does this insane workout before the sun even rises. Then, he comes upstairs like some sort of fitness prophet, dripping sweat, and just stands over me while I'm trying to sleep." Victoria's eyes widened, and she nodded. "David does the same thing. It's always, 'Vic, love, look at my abs.' And I'm just there under the covers thinking, 'Please go away, I'm cold and it's 6 in the morning.'" Kelly clutched her chest dramatically. "Yes, they both have this, I don't know, this fitness cult mentality. And the worst part is they want us to join it." At that, Victoria laughed, shaking her head. "Oh, he's been trying for years. I told him, 'Darling, I walk in heels all day. That's my cardio.'" The studio audience roared, and even Mark Consuelos, watching from backstage, could be seen shaking his head with an affectionate grin. The horror of husbandly sameness. Kelly wasn't done. "You know what's worse?" she continued, leaning conspiratorially toward Victoria. "They both take their grooming routines way too seriously, like there's self-care and then there's whatever this is." Victoria laughed knowingly. "David has more skincare products than I do. He has a little section of the bathroom that's like a shrine, all perfectly arranged. Serums, moisturizers, beard oils." Kelly nodded, eyes wide. "Yes, Mark too. I can't even find my own moisturizer anymore because he's reorganized everything by function. I'll go to grab eye cream, and he's like, 'No, babe, that's the night repair one.' I married a man who reads ingredient labels for fun." Victoria chuckled, and they both think they invented the idea of a matching outfit. That set Kelly off. "Don't even get me started. Every time we go out, Mark says, we should coordinate just subtly. And then I show up in beige, and he's in beige, and suddenly people think we're that couple who dresses like twins." Victoria smirked. "David once said we looked like a power couple when we accidentally wore similar suits. I said, or we look like we're about to open a luxury car dealership." The romantic overachievers. But underneath the laughter, both women admitted, with a mix of pride and mock irritation, that their husbands' overachieving tendencies extend to romance too. "Mark will plan these elaborate date nights," Kelly explained. "He'll light candles, cook dinner, pour wine, and I'll walk in thinking, 'Okay, what did he do wrong?' Because it's too perfect." Victoria nodded knowingly. "David's the same. He once surprised me with an entire garden full of roses. I thought it was an anniversary thing, but no, he just watched a romantic movie and felt inspired. Meanwhile, I was like, 'I'm the one who has to water these.'" Kelly laughed so hard she nearly spilled her coffee. "Exactly. You can't even enjoy the gesture because now it's become a maintenance issue. Mark once bought me a lemon tree because he said it reminded him of Italy. Guess who keeps that tree alive? Not him." Victoria gave a mock sigh. "They mean well, bless them. But sometimes I just want a night of bad TV and takeout without a violinist appearing in the living room." When alpha meets alpha. As the conversation deepened, the women reflected on what it's really like being married to men who possess big personalities and equally big hearts. I think the hardest part, Kelly said thoughtfully, is that Mark is just so intense. He's passionate about everything: food, travel, fitness, the kids. He doesn't do anything halfway. Victoria nodded. David's the same. There's no off switch. Even when he's relaxing, he's doing it like it's a competition. He'll say, "I'm going to be the best at unwinding." I'm like, "Darling, that's not how unwinding works." The audience laughed, but Kelly smiled softly. At the end of the day, though, that's what makes them who they are. I'll tease him for being extra, but I love that about him. He cares deeply. Even his stubbornness, it's rooted in passion. Victoria agreed. That's exactly it. David drives me mad sometimes, but he's the most dedicated person I've ever met. Whether it's football, fashion, or being a dad, he gives 100%. Kelly quipped, "So basically, they're exhausting and wonderful all at once." "Completely," Victoria replied. "They're like high-maintenance golden retrievers." The entire audience, and even Mark watching backstage, burst into laughter. When Kelly met Victoria, a match made in sass heaven. The chemistry between the two women was undeniable. Kelly, who has long been known for her quick humor and unfiltered commentary, met her match in Victoria's cool, understated wit. "You know," Kelly teased, "if Mark and David ever hung out, I think the world might implode from the sheer volume of protein shakes and self-confidence." Victoria smiled knowingly. They'd probably start a podcast about being perfect husbands. Oh, and they'd call it something like The Modern Man Manifesto. Sponsored by their own fragrance lines, Victoria added dryly. Kelly nodded solemnly. "Yes, with a limited edition candle that smells like discipline." The laughter that followed was so genuine that even Kelly had to pause to wipe away a tear. The soccer dad and the baseball coach. As the segment continued, Kelly and Victoria found even more points of overlap, particularly when it came to their husbands' involvement in their children's lives. "They're both the dad on the sidelines," Kelly noted. "The one yelling instructions that no one asked for." Victoria chuckled. "Oh, David's notorious for that. He'll stand at Romeo's match and mutter, 'He should have gone left.' I'm like, 'He's 16, love, let him figure it out.'" Kelly clapped her hands. "Yes. Mark coached our kids' teams for years, and he's so passionate. It's adorable but terrifying. He treats a little league game like the World Series." "They can't help it," Victoria said with affection. "It's in their DNA, the need to lead, to teach, to win." Kelly grinned. "Well, they definitely won us, I'll give them that." The secret behind long marriages. Both women, married for more than 2 decades, took a rare moment to get real about what keeps their marriages strong, beyond the teasing and chaos. "I think humor is everything," Kelly said. "You have to laugh, because if you can't laugh at your partner's quirks, they'll just drive you insane." Victoria nodded. "Absolutely, and respect. We joke about them, but at the end of the day, we admire them. We've grown up together through fame, kids, careers. It's not easy. You need that foundation of mutual respect." Kelly smiled. "And separate bathrooms." Victoria threw her head back in laughter. "Yes, that's the real secret. Romance is alive because we each have our own sink." When the husbands joined in. As the conversation wound down, producers decided to surprise both women, bringing out Mark Consuelos and David Beckham for a brief cameo. The audience went wild as the two men walked on stage, both dressed, predictably, in matching fitted black sweaters and jeans. Kelly groaned. See what I mean? They even dress alike without trying." Victoria pretended to shield her eyes. "It's like looking into a mirror of moisturized masculinity." David laughed, hugging her affectionately. "We just have good taste, love." Mark added, "We're trendsetters, admit it." Kelly crossed her arms. Trendsetters or clones, the jury's still out. The husbands exchanged amused looks, clearly enjoying the attention. "You know," David said, "I think Kelly and Victoria have more in common than they realize, too." "Oh no," Kelly said, feigning alarm. "Don't you dare turn this around on us." Mark grinned. "Too late, you both run the show." Victoria smirked. "Well, someone has to." The perfectly imperfect pairings. By the end of the episode, the four of them stood together, two couples who, despite their global fame and polished exteriors, exuded a warm, playful normalcy. "I think," Kelly said with a smile, "the secret is embracing the horror, loving the chaos that comes with someone who drives you a little bit crazy." Victoria nodded. "Exactly, because underneath all the madness, there's a lot of love, and maybe a shared moisturizer." The crowd erupted in laughter once again, and as the credits began to roll, Mark wrapped an arm around Kelly while David kissed Victoria on the cheek. It was a picture-perfect ending, a blend of humor, honesty, and heart that reminded viewers why they adore Kelly Ripa and Victoria Beckham in the first place. Two women, two power couples, and one universal truth. Even the most glamorous marriages are built on laughter, patience, and the occasional shared eye cream.